Discovery Drama's third podcast. Today I'll be talking to actress Fiona Browne about our next masterclass, Your Authentic Voice. Fiona and I go back a long time and we look forward to working together on the next masterclass. Fiona is one of Ireland's busiest voiceover artists. She's also a voiceover teacher and an actor, and I'm going to be finding out about how she became so interested in the voice. She'll also tell us a little bit about her voice training and give us a sneak peek into what to expect on the day. And we have a special treat at the end where we get to hear her dulcet tones when she delivers Brendan Kennelly's poem, Begin. Keep listening to learn more. So Fiona, good morning to you.
Good morning, Gabrielle. How are you?
Lovely to be here with you and catching up and see how you're doing.
Yeah.
So first of all, I wanted to thank you, Fiona, for coming in and agreeing to work with myself at Discovery Drama's next masterclass, which will be focusing on the voice. And, this is our third masterclass, but I wanted to bring in the voice because I thought it was really important. As you know, Fiona, like an artist, their materials are they have a paintbrush or clay or whatever they're using with. A musician has an instrument. As performers, as actors, what we have is our voice and our body. So are absolutely crucial. So when I was thinking of who to invite, you were the first person that came into my mind, because when I think of voice, I think of you, Fiona, because you are the queen of voice and voiceovers. So I'm absolutely delighted that you've agreed to come in. So you and I know each other a long time, don't we, Fiona?
Yes, we go way back. Yeah,
we go way
to
back to our
teenage years, probably.
teenage years. So we first
Drama
met
classes
in
together.
drama classes when we were about 14 or 15.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And then you went on to train in the Gaiety and I trained at Trinity. And
well, I didn't train at the Gaiety, actually. I went to Trinity as well, but I did the BA, the degree course. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought you were
Yeah.
Gaiety because all your pals were.
Well, that's it. I often get mistaken for Gaiety alumni because so many of my friends went there. Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know that. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're both Trinity alumni.
Yes.
So we've been keeping on going in the acting, but I'm here now to talk about you and your experience. So I know that you've done a lot of theatre work and film work and TV work. But I wanted to ask you about the voice because I know, Fiona, that you have a particular interest in the voice. Is that right?
That's right. I always sang, but I was probably a very shy singer for most of my life, and was kind of, had to be coaxed a little bit, to sing at parties and family events and stuff like that. But I always knew when I got past the fear of it, that I loved it, and I would always be singing to myself or going around the place, or when I had an empty house, or when I got the opportunity. But I was shy. But I was shy, and I found, but yet at the same time, when I was acting, I wasn't shy. And it took me an awfully long time to figure that out. But I was very lucky to be introduced to an amazing teacher called Kevin Crawford, who actually was teaching at Trinity for a while in the early 90s, could have been from the late 80s and almost maybe through the 90s. I'm not actually sure because I never came across him in Trinity because I wasn't in the actor training program at that time. I was in the more kind of, I suppose, academic course,
Okay.
But even when I was doing the academic course, I knew my heart was in performance, and I was always chasing any opportunity to perform and train. So I was always doing workshops in the summer, or I would, take any opportunity to learn about, movement. I was doing a lot of physical theatre at the time. I met some great teachers through that. So I was always kind of exploring, but I hadn't found the connection between my voice and performance and myself, I suppose, and it was still a kind of I hadn't made that connection. And so I did an afternoon workshop with Kevin Crawford in, I think it was 2002 now at this stage.
Yes.
And it was only a 3-hour workshop, but it was life-changing insofar as I experienced what it was like um, to really feel the connection between my voice and myself for the first time, my
Yeah,
real true voice.
yeah.
And it was almost like the voice was coming from somewhere else, to be honest. I mean, it has never happened to me since. It was like it just nearly like a breakthrough moment.
Yeah,
Whatever
yeah.
exercises he was doing, and he was so adept and amazing at
But
leading us through these
so
exercises, that it
yeah,
just kind of happened, you know?
yeah, yeah. And it is amazing, Fiona. Like, I'm always using this word in association with drama and the arts and the voice, transformative. And it is amazing the
Yeah,
3 hour workshop. I mean, you could spend 3 hours now looking at your phone or staring at the
yeah.
computer, but 3 hours standing there was transformative for you in your
It, yeah, because you get to experience something, and I knew that I had made a connection between my voice and myself
Mhm.
and something else. Now, whether you call that imagination, or creativity, or but something bigger as well.
And Fiona, can
So,
I ask you,
mm,
was that you just mentioned earlier that you were quite shy
yeah.
when you were younger? Did the whole idea of, stepping into the imagination, did that help combat the nerves or the shyness around performing? Did that help with that? Did you find that useful?
Yeah, because I found when I could step into the imagination and pretend to be somebody else, or,
Hmm.
another character with another story, that I
Yeah.
was free.
Okay.
I could find freedom of expression in that. That helped me to kind of, yeah, to kind of expand myself, I suppose, or, expand into that
Yeah.
creative place where I felt free, and, uh, you know, felt like I was where I was supposed to be, doing what I was supposed to be doing. So
Yeah.
when I found the connection to the voice, I realized it's not it's 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 another tool to connect with the imagination. When I connected my voice to something greater than myself, I suppose, the
Yeah.
imagination or whatever, something clicked, and I just went, oh yeah, it's just all part of the same thing. I think for voice, I think the thing what is so can be so daunting for people sometimes when they have to go and speak in front of people, or
Hmm.
sing especially, is that it's very revealing.
It
with
is.
our with our own voices, there's nowhere to hide. It's
Yeah.
like uh
It's just so personal, isn't it?
it's so
And it's so
personal.
intimate
Yeah,
as well, our voice. And it's
yeah,
amazing the way each voice is just so unique. When you hear a voice, you know who
yeah,
it is. Even with the passing of Charlie Bird just recently, he had such
yeah.
a distinctive voice, and it's
Distinctive.
kind of
Yeah.
who we are, and it reveals so much about us, doesn't it? So
Yeah, well, a lot of cultures now believe that, like, your voice is connected to your spirit or your soul in some kind
yeah,
of
I
way.
believe that.
So,
I do believe that because actually I was thinking that when you were saying that, but
mhm.
I didn't know if it was slightly out there, like in terms of
Yeah, I know.
spirituality.
Yeah,
I mean, they do singing and the voice is the same thing, and they do say that singing there is a spiritual element to it, and it kind of speaks when words fail us. So yeah,
hmm,
absolutely.
yeah,
And
yeah. And the
Fiona,
power of the
I
power
want
of
to ask
song.
you about your training. I know you did a lot of training in France. So I remember meeting you
Yeah.
in like the 2000s, and you'd have this lovely tan, and you'd be chilled out, and you'd have come back
Those,
from France, and I'd be really jealous.
those were the days.
Was it a commune, or what were you doing over there? Can you
Was
tell
it a
me
commune?
about
Yeah, so through Kevin Crawford,
Yeah,
actually, I just knew when I had that moment
yeah,
of breakthrough with my voice. I felt like, oh, this. I kind of felt like I touched on. I didn't have a word for it at the time, but later I would maybe put onto it, oh, that's my potential, and I know there's more
yeah,
in there, and I just knew I wanted to find. And I don't mean potential as a performer, or potential for success, or potential as a singer, or anything
yeah.
like that. I just mean potential as a human potential or something.
Yes, yes.
So I just went, I didn't know what it was, but I just knew I wanted more of it, and I
Okay.
wanted to follow it. It was a very clear thing. I was going to follow. I wanted more of this, whatever this was.
Yes.
So I did a more intensive workshop with Kevin Crawford that very summer
Mhm.
in France. And then through Kevin, I was introduced to the Roy Hart Theatre in Malarargue, which is in the south of France.
Okay.
And that's where he spent a lot of time in his youth. And so they were basically a group of actors who were all based in London at the time, but they moved over to France in the 70s, just to kind of to kind of find somewhere that they could live and work together and do this voice vocal research.
Yeah.
So that place still exists, and a lot of the teachers, the older teachers, like the a lot of them have sadly passed away now, but there are one or two of them left. And I met an amazing woman called Kaya Anderson,
Yeah.
who
I've heard you talk about
became
her before.
yeah, who
Yeah.
sort of became a mentor for me,
Yeah.
and who was my like voice mother, if you like,
Yeah.
and really took me under her wing. And I just found her so inspiring
Okay.
in terms of her approach to the voice, obviously, and teaching, her connection to other human beings, her way of expressing herself
Yeah.
on a daily basis. Just her approach to life was very inspiring. And also she could move mountains. I mean, she could read. She worked with me a lot, and I watched her work with other students, and it just never always something a little bit magic happened.
She could
So
find something in everybody. Yeah.
absolutely. And their whole approach, the Roy Hart Theatre, they do believe that your voice is an expression of your soul, and they believe that by expanding your vocal range and working on your voice, that you're not only working on that instrument, but you're working on your humanity. You're expanding your
Yeah.
uh, potential as a human being. And I definitely feel the training I got there over a number of years, and I've started going back now in recent years as my children are older now and I have a
Yeah.
little bit more freedom. Um, I do find it had a profound effect on my life and
Yes.
on my work, I
And then you work.
suppose,
Yeah.
because I
Absolutely.
found the connection between voice, body, and imagination,
Yeah.
those three things. And I, I feel like no matter what I'm doing, be it a voiceover or a day on a film set or anything, like
Yeah.
you bring that comes with you, all
Mhm.
that
All your
um
experience there.
experience
Yeah.
and all the journeys you have taken with your voice.
Yeah.
So we'd be very much encouraged to play with our voices. it's
Mhm.
it's about not shying away from your dark side. So it's not about producing this lovely beautiful bel canto sound. It's about exploring the more, maybe what we would consider to be dark sounds or rough sounds, or
Yeah.
because that's where the interesting material is, and that's where sometimes the breakthroughs are as well.
Absolutely.
You see, you'll often notice that people will speak, and I'm sure if we had a piano here now, I'd be able to press a key and you could hear the kind of the pitch that I'm speaking at now in my sort of everyday slightly morning voice or whatever.
Yeah.
But we sometimes settle there and we forget, especially, we're maybe told to be quiet when we're children, or we're maybe
Mm.
told to oh, your voice is very high, or we're told as actors we should be speaking from here. So we,
Yeah.
we get all this information, but we don't necessarily know how to relate that to ourselves, our own true voices. But yeah, you'd be very much encouraged to play and experiment with
Yeah.
your voice, because if you think about it, when babies are born, they open their mouths and they can do like the sounds they can make. They have all
Oh,
the range. It's
yeah.
completely free.
Yeah.
There's
So would
no
you say, Fiona,
impediment.
it's finding your authentic voice really? Is that what
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
really what it's about. And
Yeah.
Fiona, I know like, it obviously worked for you because you have recorded so many voiceovers over the years. Like about how many have you recorded? Do you know or about?
It was probably, yeah, it's definitely, it could be, yeah, hundreds anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
I've
that's
been doing it, yeah, yeah, but maybe more, but
I'm just
yeah.
curious in the voiceover booth. So it is amazing thing. It's just you and the mic, and it's just
Mm.
voice, isn't it? When you're in there.
It is. And like you can sometimes it depends on what you're being given to read, you know,
Yeah,
um but even the most kind of, I suppose, ordinary or everyday type of script, and a lot of it would be for advertising,
yeah,
but the way you can kind of bring color and life and imagination to that, I
yeah.
do believe it makes a difference, you
It
know.
absolutely does.
It's, you know, that you can bring expression to that. I mean, you know, and even thinking about sometimes in the booth they'll give you a direction like, oh, put more smile in it, or
Yeah,
brighter, or you
yeah.
know, more
Or they can
energy.
find a
So
different way of saying that, so they're meant saying it in
yeah,
a
but
way
I,
you've never
you
been
know,
able.
I feel like I have a toolbox. It's not like, so I kind of go, oh yeah, well I'll just try this, or you know, because I have had the opportunity and the good fortune to have, you know, been able to play with my voice over the years, you know.
Yeah,
I know what that is, and so I bring a sort of I mean, I find it, I really enjoy it because I find it quite a playful thing, you know.
yeah. You find the color and you're adding. It is amazing what the voice
It's
can do and what you can bring to
yeah.
something. You know, even the most banal thing, a meeting or a
Hmm.
presentation, maybe about something that maybe you don't find that interesting, but you can add
Yeah.
your color, you can add your story to make it interesting for yourself, which is more important.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah,
And then
definitely.
I wanted to ask you, Fiona, going back to that shy girl, and maybe you're still shy, or I know I'm still shy.
We're all a bit shy, aren't we?
All of us
Yeah,
shy,
let's
but I
face
think
it,
shy people
at
are
times.
good people. So the people who are maybe a bit shy about coming in to the masterclass or
Hmm.
a bit nervous, what would you say to them? Are they going to come in? Or are you going to stand them against? Or are you going to stand them against the wall and give them a piece to read
No,
out? Yeah.
no,
So
no, no,
what?
no.
Tell me,
You,
what would
you,
you say to that person?
I would say, um, come as you are
Yeah,
and start from where you are,
yeah,
and just with whatever you have is enough, and it's going to be very gentle,
yeah,
and you're guiding your own experience. Like myself and Gabrielle will be there, but we'll be facilitating it. Nobody will be pushed to do anything that they don't want to do or
no,
that they're not ready to
no,
do.
no. And that is
So it's,
something that's really
yeah,
important in discovery
yeah,
drama, and that's
yeah.
something we absolutely take pride in is making people feel
Hmm.
comfortable and in their comfortable zone,
Exactly.
and gently holding their hand and bringing them across the line,
Yeah,
and then they realize
yeah,
that they got there, and you just see faces from when they come in to when
yeah,
they leave, they're elated.
yeah.
Um,
Absolutely.
and you and I know that,
Yeah,
and it's difficult to get that message across to people about the joy of drama and what
yeah.
people are afraid of it, but there are so many skills to be learned within that. Wouldn't you?
Hmm.
That we
Absolutely.
so our job is to spread the joy. So
Absolutely. And you will always find something surprising for
always,
yourself. And
always,
I think what you say, joy is a very good word, because there's so much joy in singing, and so many people don't allow themselves to experience that because they think they're not singers or
yeah,
they're not good singers.
yeah,
And that's not true. Everybody can, and it doesn't even have to be singing. Everyone can speak or express themselves. Every individual voice is beautiful, and it's a tool to be played with, and to, you know, to
absolutely.
experience. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and I'm just, I can hear people listening now going, "Oh, is this going to be about singing?" So
No.
no, don't feel no, you won't have to do that. So Fiona, I'm going to let you back to your busy schedule, but before you go, I have
Hmm.
a little request. If you wouldn't
Oh
mind,
yeah.
do you have so a little piece from a play that you wouldn't mind just reading for us or sharing with us this morning? Would that be okay?
Yeah, well, I have a poem. I don't know if you know it.
Oh,
It's the Brendan Kennelly poem "Begin." Do you know that
oh
one?
yes, I love that poem.
Yeah.
That was a
Well,
beautiful
it's a
poem.
yeah, it's one that we've had for family occasions uh, in uh, in my family over the years,
Yeah.
and
Funny, I had that too.
I
When my dad passed, we read that poem. So that is a,
yeah.
and I'm so pleased that you're going to read it now this morning.
Okay, well, I just
Love
think
the
it's,
thing.
I
Love
hope,
the thing.
yeah, I didn't realize that, Gabrielle. I hope it's not going to be.
No, 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 no. It's fine. I love it. I love it.
Okay, great. Well, I just feel it's a nice sentiment to anybody who's thinking of, if this is a new thing for anybody to begin working on their voice or to explore it. Um, then it would maybe encourage people to just start from where you are, as I
Yeah,
said, because that's what we're doing every single day anyway,
that's
isn't
it. That's it. We get up out of bed
it?
and we put one foot in front of the
In
other
front of the
and we
other.
begin. Yeah, lovely.
Okay.
Okay, so Fiona, I'll be quiet now.
Okay. Begin again to the summoning birds, to the sight of the light at the window. Begin to the roar of the morning traffic all along Pembroke Road. Every beginning is a promise, born in light and dying in dark. Determination and exaltation of springtime flowering the way to work. Begin to the pageant of queuing girls, the arrogant loneliness of swans in the canal, bridges linking the past and future, old friends passing through with us still. Begin to the loneliness that cannot end, since it perhaps is what makes us begin. Begin to wonder at unknown faces, at crying birds in the sudden rain, at branches stark in the willing sunlight, at seagulls foraging for bread, at couples sharing a sunny secret, alone together while making good. Though we live in a world that dreams of ending, that always seems about to give in, something that will not acknowledge conclusion insists that we forever begin.
That is beautiful, Fiona. Thank you. I love that. I love
Oh,
that.
yeah, I'm very fond of that one myself.
Wally was such a beautiful man. So Fiona, thank you so much for coming on this morning, and I will be in touch with you, no doubt. And
Yes,
I'm looking forward to April 13th to our third masterclass, Exploring Voice. And have a brilliant day, Fiona.
me too.
You take
Looking forward to meeting everyone.
yeah, it'll be a great
Thanks.
day. Okay,
Yeah.
Slán, Slán.
Thanks,
Bye,
Gabrielle.
bye, bye, Fiona.
Bye
Bye, bye,
bye.
bye,
Bye.
bye, bye.